Hello, welcome to Inform's YouTube channel. Thanks for finding this video and watching our interview with Mark Lewis, the 2026 Inform's president. Mark is the Maxwell M. Upson Professor of Engineering at Cornell University. Did I say that right?
Cornell University.
That I did. Hopefully Upson.
Correct.
Maxwell Upson. Sorry to Maxwell Upson. We are here today to talk about you and your incoming presidency at Informs. Congrats again for your election. So tell us, coming into your presidency year, what do you see as Inform's greatest strengths?
So thank you for that question. First of all, I want to say I'm really excited to be here and I'm happy to meet you. And thanks for doing this. I guess I would say there are a few things. The biggest thing I see as Inform's strength is its people. And I mean that in the broadest sense. I've been on the executive board now for, I think, 3 years. I was secretary before I was incoming president or president-elect. Right. And I got to work with some amazing staff, which I knew the staff was strong. I didn't know how dedicated they were to the mission of Informs, and now I see that in a bright way, in big, bold letters.
That's awesome.
Also, the volunteers. None of us are really paid to do this, and so we're really doing it because we believe in the mission of Informs and believe in broadening the impact of OR worldwide. So that's what I think are our strengths.
Well, we thank you for volunteering all these years and getting to where you are. So we're going to talk a little bit about Inform's finances. I got to throw this one in there. So your predecessors have spoken about the finances and the operating deficit due to the pandemic years. How will Inform's continue its financial recovery and growth during your presidency?
Yeah, this is a good question. I think to myself that there are a couple of ways. First of all, we're on the right path. Let me start out by saying that. It would seem to be coming out of the deficit. But I think there are a couple of ways that you can really push to get out of a deficit. One way is if we were to make a big bet on something and it just came through. So we bet on something in stocks or whatever and it just happened to hit. And so that would be one way to do this. Another way to do it is to take on a long-term endeavor which yields a significant amount of income. And it's a steady income stream. And that's the track that Informs has taken with an EBSCO deal for aggregating and then disseminating our journals. And on the very positive side, EBSCO, of course, pays Informs, but the biggest get, I think, is the expansion of access that EBSCO offers for our journals worldwide. And so I think it was a good bet, taking on that deal, and it's paying off for us.
And that has officially started, that partnership, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, awesome. So hopefully we'll see lots of returns on that investment, right?
Right on.
So you mentioned you're volunteering here. You have had a long list of volunteer positions, including chair of the Applied Probability Society, Morse Lecture Committee, most recently secretary. You are also notably the co-founder of the Informs Minority Issues Forum. So tell us about your experience getting that community created and serving as its president more than once, correct?
That is correct.
It's a community you seem very passionate about, so I'd like to hear how you grew that.
First of all, I should say that this year is our 25th anniversary, so we're having a big gala, and I didn't have anything to do with putting the gala together, but I was one of the co-founders. And there were really 5 of us, so not just me. So I'll mention a few names, Bill Christian, Ilya Hicks, Maria Mayorga, and Julie Ivey.
Great.
Were my co-founders. And at the time, it was interesting. We were all very young in our careers. And so the idea of the Minority Issues Forum came from a conversation that I had with John Burge, who's a longtime Informs member and former Informs president. And so getting that started, the goal was to find a place where people could meet and get together and discuss issues. It was meant to be supportive, which it very much has been over the last 25 years. And inclusive, so we don't just have minority members. We have members from all over the community coming to our events. That has been supersized over the last 25 years. So I can say that the 5 of us were the progenitors of the idea, but there have been many, many people that have been supportive of that, whether it be young, other minority faculty or practitioners, also many, many people that were not of that same ethnicity or background and still very much supportive of the idea. It's a place where we are nurturing and growing all at the same time. So I'm very excited about that. Go ahead, please.
Thanks. Do you find did that help in your career path, or just it was more of a support system for you, and you made friends, or how was that?
I think the answer to this question is yes.
Yes.
all the above. So understand, I got my PhD in 1998. I think the forum started in 2000. So I was brand new. I've come off a postdoc and I had 1 year experience as an assistant professor. And to come to Informs, I was already of the mindset that Informs had a welcoming community, but to have even a subset of that community be able to meet and discuss issues that were sort of unique to minority practitioners and faculty was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it has grown my career because I kept coming back to that same community over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for that question.
Sure. So also helping and supporting minorities and underrepresented communities is one of the goals you mentioned in your candidate statement for your presidency. Mm-hmm. So if you could share a few of the concrete initiatives you hope to launch or continue aimed at these members in OR.
Yeah, so I think I can say that during my time as secretary and president-elect, I worked pretty hard to make sure that people can get a view of other practitioners in the faculty that are minorities, from people that maybe are not minorities. Mm-hmm. And so we put together a sheet that people, when they're looking for committee members, they fill this sheet out and tell us what they did to expand the access and opportunities for other people. And I will say that there's this thing called the volunteer management system.
Yes.
And I would love to see that thing really take off. Yeah. Because what that would do is just like when you're looking for a referee for a journal article, mm-hmm. you should be able to go to our membership and say, okay, who has been missing from our activities over the long haul, whether it be a woman, whether it be a minority, a veteran, a member of Pride, mm-hmm. doesn't matter, right. And someone who has the technical background that I'm looking for. Yeah. Can I then find that person? I may not know them, but the system would allow me to seek out those people, and then I can ask if they want to volunteer. I think that will expand opportunities for everyone. Right.
And just the pool of volunteers in general. I feel like sometimes at organizations, you start seeing the same volunteer faces over and over, which is great. Obviously, we want you to come back over and over again, but we also want the new faces, fresh faces, different
people do ask their friends.
Yes.
And I think through the portal, through this volunteer management system, they'll make new friends.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
great. Thank you for mentioning that. Membership will be happy. You also emphasized reconnecting the academic and practitioner sides of OR and analytics in your candidate statement. And you noted the world of academia and that of practitioners has seen some drifting apart. Mm-hmm. So how do you envision fostering stronger collaborations between these two during your term?
Something you may not be aware of because it wasn't in my original statement. Last year, I was on sabbatical and I took on the job of being an Amazon scholar.
Oh,
and what I realized during that time, so this is maybe after I wrote that, but I even magnified that view, mm-hmm. is what I realized is that even a person like me, whose research I think leans somewhat more applied, doesn't really realize that the end of applied and the start of actually applying, there's a gap. And so most academics think of themselves, if they're applied, there's still some place before finishing what we do and implementation. Mm-hmm. This is because we have to make some assumptions to make what we are proving to work. And those assumptions may not be exactly the same assumptions that the companies that we're working with have. So I think that there is a gap between the two of us mm-hmm. in that. And I do think that there's a need to bring those two things together.
Right.
So here are a couple of things I can imagine working out for us. One of them is, I think many other companies should take on the idea of having an Amazon Scholar program. Okay. The program basically allows faculty and practitioners to work together. I was on sabbatical, so I got to go to Amazon and work within the company, which mm-hmm. is just outstanding. Yeah. So I think that would be one way to help people get together. I also like the idea of having more academics go to the analytics conference. Yeah. Now, we would have to go in a sort of a fact-finding or with the humility of understanding that we don't know how to tell them how to solve all the problems, mm-hmm. and they don't know what to ask of us, mm-hmm. and somehow we should be melding these two groups together. I do think that if I can make lemonade out of lemons, one upside of the new federal government restrictions on funding mm-hmm. is that the need for us to work together is even more so than it was even 2 years ago. Right. So I think people hopefully will be willing to do that.
How do you think you'll get some of those academics to come to Analytics Plus conference? What's going to be the draw other than collaboration? Yeah, so I think there's pressure to do so. Yeah, okay. Because the federal government is no longer going to be funding us in the way we used to be. Right. And I also think that so I really do believe that we could have other metrics besides
how many publications you have for excellence. So one metric might be engagement with the company. Maybe I help the company save several millions of dollars, and that would mean that the company stays in a market that they wouldn't have stayed in otherwise, which can expand access to people who wouldn't have had access to that company's offerings. And if we can do that if we can help companies do that as academics, I think we still have the impact that we would have even if we don't get to publish the work.
Right. Well, it's the Edelman competition, essentially, right?
Exactly
Those two
right.
people working together, billions and billions of benefits. Everybody reads that article every year, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
I went to the Edelman competition. I should tell you, I went to the Edelman competition. I don't think I realized how much those people are stars.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. It's like going to the Oscars.
Yeah. And they're so excited. Everyone's so happy. It's a great night. It's a fun
I
time.
agree.
Yeah. All right. One more thing about your statement.
Okay.
I'm quoting you back to you again.
Okay.
You also wrote about a goal to expand and enhance the sense of community among operations researchers and management scientists. So what does sense of community mean specifically for Informs in 2026? And how might you reach members who are less connected to make them feel more part of the community?
Yeah, so I already give you a sense of that because there is this practitioner academic divide. I think there's also an opportunity to expand internationally. There are areas, say in Asia or in Africa, that we're not touching like we should. I think that we should continue to stay connected to our European colleagues and maybe magnify those relationships even more.
Okay.
I think that Informs could be seen more as a global community. It's based in the United States, but it's a global global community, which I think would be outstanding for everybody. I forgot the rest of your question.
How might you reach those members who are less connected, make them feel part of the community?
So it's interesting that you asked this question because when Informs was founded, I'm pretty sure there was no internet. And so
1995?
Or 16, sorry.
Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right.
Got it. Okay. The predecessors of Informs.
And even in 1995, when I was writing my first papers, when you wrote a paper, you basically printed it out 3 times.
Yeah.
And then you sent it off to the editorial board to edit.
You mailed it.
And that's right, you mailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even as late as a few years ago, we were still doing our ballots via snail mail.
Yes.
So the easy answer to your question is we are now in an age where we can reach each other in an instant. And I don't think we're using that as best we could.
Yeah.
And so I think that we should be able to do that better.
What's the hard answer to that question? You came up with the easy answer.
Yeah. Well, I think we have to have people dedicated to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think the hard answer is to ensure that everybody believes in what we're trying to do and sees it the way we see it.
Right.
And so maybe that's the harder one.
Yeah.
But I still think it's doable.
Yeah, I was going to say, could do them both. Comment on the changing ORMS landscape with the growth of data, machine learning, AI is everywhere. You said it's an exciting time to have skills of an operations researcher. Yeah. So how do you think Informs needs to evolve to stay relevant? It's fast moving. AI changes day to day.
Yeah, I love this question. Well, one of the things I would say is, first of all, computer science and OR are sort of connected, okay? But computer science, they tend to lean toward computer science applications, whereas OR, in my view, is a little more expansive. And so as we see AI permeate the world, there are lots of OR applications that still have not been touched in the way we could have throughout that application. So just let me give you a couple of examples. Since I spent some time in Amazon, I've gotten to see supply chain management now equipped with AI. Things happen way, way faster, and they change all the time. So you have lots and lots of data. So machine learning applications are permeating throughout the whole landscape. And then you have things that would require updated decision making. So not just analysis and analyzing large bases of data, but how do you take that data and turn it into decisions and smarter decisions? And that's just in supply chain. That same thing is true in healthcare. If you think about delivery of goods, but also design of experiments, and how do you choose which drugs to use and how to develop new drug technologies. All these things are typical OR applications, and I still think there's space to have them grow through the AI landscape.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Huh?
We'll see.
You just said smarter decisions and Informs tagline, smarter decisions for a better world. How does that resonate with you?
So this is a good question in the sense that I think you could almost divide it up.
Okay.
So smarter decisions, that's somehow informed decisions. That's how I like to think of it.
Right.
And so if I think about being data informed, that's one side of the smarter decisions piece. But smarter decisions is also an optimization thing. So so if I compare what we do in science versus what we do say in engineering or operations management, is we almost always, well, sometimes in science, what they're doing is they're modeling things almost for the sake of modeling. But in engineering, we model things for the sake of improving.
Okay.
And so the optimization overlay is the smarter decisions piece that I would like to think about. For a better world, I talked a little bit about this earlier with engagement.
Right.
The range of applications, which is almost what drew me to OR in the first place, is amazing. So one can think of working with a big company like Amazon. One can also think about working in the public sector. One can work with food banks. Lots of opportunity to work and apply our OR skills. And I really love that.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So what compelled you to become an Informs member I didn't look up how long you've been a member. Do you know?
I don't know.
No, too long to count. And obviously you were coming back year after year, continuing to volunteer. So do you remember when you first joined?
I don't remember when I first joined. I think I was at a conference in 1996. So that would be around the time I went to Georgia Tech. I was at Georgia Tech for my PhD from 95 to 98. So around that time.
So you started as a student member.
That's correct.
Stayed ever since.
And I stayed. I don't think I had any lapses in my membership. I hope not.
Nah.
Yeah.
I won't look it up.
Okay. Good. Good.
But did you just join because you were coming to a conference? Did the conference make you join? What was the?
I think my advisors encouraged me to go to a conference, and then I saw. So I will say this. Let me back up for a second. I have a degree in mathematics and political science. So my undergraduate degrees are in this space.
Okay.
So optimization, OR, was not really a part of my curriculum. And so I've been finding my people, so to speak, for 30 years. Yeah. And so I first discovered, if you can call it, operations research, having spent some time at Bell Labs when I was a student. And then coming to Informs, I discovered that there were a lot of people like me that were really interested in that. And what I love about the problems in ORMS is they're not always that hard to describe, but the ones that are interesting are hard to solve. So you need the technical background to solve them, but to explain it to someone, a layperson, it's kind of not that difficult to put those two things together. Yeah. And so that was one thing that's drawn me to Informs. And then a sense of community that I felt. Yeah. Even before the Minority Issues Forum, I felt like there were people there that were really looking out for me and caring about my career.
I love the finding your people. I've had a couple people in interviews say that same term, and it's you can feel that at the meetings too, and within the Informs community, it's just everyone. Not to say a bunch of nerds that love math, but that's kind of a little bit, Yeah, that's okay. But great, cool, nice nerds. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. You mentioned a little bit about what drew you to OR. Do you have any other thoughts on that? How you got to where you are today? Any mentors or role models?
Oh, I see. I have a long list of mentors. Yes. So the good thing about that is that I've had no problem finding people that care about me as a person and me as a professional. So let me back up and way back up. Okay. And I can tell you that as a mathematics undergraduate student, I had 3 professors in the math field, Walter Walker, Jerry Yanevichus, and David Kerr at Eckerd College, which is a small liberal arts college, that really pulled me through, and I took every possible course in math that they offered. And sometimes they offered courses just for me because I wanted to do more. Huh. So that was really amazing. Yeah. And then I had mentors at Bell Labs because I went to Bell Labs after a couple of years of graduate school. And Bill Massey and Ward Witt and Marty Ryman are all Informs members. And in fact, my thesis topic came from a conversation I had with them while I was there. Okay. So that was amazing. Yeah. And then at Georgia Tech, I had Bob Foley and Ivy Ihon, who were my thesis advisors, my postdoc advisor, Marty Putterman. Just a long list of people that were really in the trenches with me, so to speak. And I'm not done, believe it or not. And that's because I had people that were just looking, that would just seek me out at Informs and ask me how I was doing. Yeah. And they really had no research connection. So John Burge, I mentioned to you earlier, Candy Yano at Berkeley. Oh, yeah. Tava Olson, who's not that much older than me, but she's been a great mentor of mine. Yeah. Shane Henderson has been a mentor and a friend of mine since second year, my first year at Michigan, my first academic job. So I can go on and on with Informs connections and faculty connections. Yeah. And then I have to say that the biggest mentors and people are my heroes are my parents and my family, who are just really, really helped me out all the way through.
That's good to hear. Do you have any lessons from lots of mentors there? What's something that still sticks with you that still might guide you today? Anything you learned along your way?
I think probably the biggest lesson I learned was from my parents and my children. So the first one, I would say my parents, in that there was never so if you get a B, it's okay, but strive for an A. This is what they always told me. So always try and excel a little bit more.
Of course.
And so this is a guiding principle even in research. You solve a problem, and then you want to push and push and push until you get to the end of that problem. And then maybe a new problem pops along that makes it a little bit more interesting. And then you keep seeking out those things. Nobody wants to solve the easy ones, because anyone can do that. But you want to be at the forefront. So that's really, I think, what guides me.
Yeah. What about your children? What did they teach you? Or is it the same thing? You just passing it down to them?
I think you're going to get to a question about that. But here's what I would say about that is that they see me as a person. So I have two children, one young woman that we sort of have taken in as a child of ours, but she was 18 when we met her. But Willow, Eden, and Olivia are their names. And I would say that no matter how high you get, so no matter how great you think you are, they see you as a guy who walks around the house in sweatpants and Crocs.
Yeah.
And so that's grounding for me. It's very, very useful.
This isn't your normal house get up.
This is the absolute least. You've heard probably.
I can feel that. No, I haven't actually, but
the least I'm ever dressed like this is once a year at best.
Well, thank you for dressing up for us today. Couple other questions for you.
Sure.
So between your responsibilities as professor, former associate dean, researcher, father, and now Inform's president, how do you stay grounded? Is there a daily routine or mindset that helps you manage it all?
So I do, I like to work out in the morning, so there's that, and I do have some hobbies, but I guess I would say the thing that I try my best to think about in my mindset is what would my father or mother, what would my father do, and what would my mother have me do? So those are the two things I think about a lot.
Interesting.
So my father was also an engineer, but he treated people with the utmost respect, and then my mother would be scolding me if I wasn't.
I was going to say, so what are those the same thing, what your father would do and what she would tell you to do, or are they opposite things?
No,
don't do what your father did.
Not the opposite. So the funny thing about that is my mother would, so things like if you see someone carrying something, walking toward a door, you rush in front to open the door for them.
Yeah.
This is what my mother would tell me to do.
Okay.
But my father would, in the instances where you have an opportunity to show someone the utmost respect and whoever they are as a human being, that's what he would do.
All good things. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
So what do you like to do for fun? What does a typical weekend look like for you? You're in sweatpants and
I'm in sweatpants. Generally, I will go to the gym or I will play poker. So I like playing poker.
Good to know.
People think that if you study applied probability, you should be a good poker player. This is not true.
No,
it doesn't matter. I love sports. So I used to play basketball in college, but I watch a lot of sports.
Yeah. Who's your favorite sports team?
So it depends. What sport are we talking about?
Give me all three. Give me baseball, basketball, football.
So I would say baseball. If I had a favorite baseball team would be the Yankees.
Okay.
But I'm not really a big baseball fan.
We'll let that one slide.
Football, I am a Cowboy fan, but I'm not really a fan of the Cowboys right now.
Okay. We'll let that one slide too. Give us your basketball team.
In basketball, because I played so much, I don't have a team. I like players. And so for a long time, I liked LeBron. He's done really well. Kevin Durant's also amazing.
Okay.
But now I like Shea Butter.
Okay.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you do any fantasy teams for basketball?
No, because my guy kicked me out of the league. So I wouldn't get stuff done in time to have it count. So they said I'm not allowed to play anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's okay.
Now it's just for fun.
Yeah, well, they get to play for fun. I don't get anything.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you just get to watch the games for fun.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So last question. What do you hope members will say about your presidency a few years from now? And what's the impact that you would be most meaningful to you?
Yeah. So, because Informs is so broad, it'd be hard for me to say that I hope that everybody becomes an appreciated share of applied probability. That would be too much to ask, I think. I think what I would hope to hear people say is that I helped Informs continue to provide the welcoming community has been for everybody.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody out there who either hadn't heard about it or heard about it and wasn't sure that this was a place for them, then I hope that they find this to be the place for them.
Great. That's great. Because you did. You found your people. So you want everyone else to find their people.
Right on.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Today.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our Informs YouTube channel so you don't miss all of our wonderful video content.